Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today we are going to fly a couple of hotel managers to the ski resorts in Courchevel. We're currently standing up here in Chambéry with the Black Square Simulations TBM850, and we are going to make this short 30 nautical mile flight through the French Alps completely VFR today. So, on this one we have a full house in the cabin, and we've got full luggage bins as well. If we have a look into the weight and balance, you'll see that we are almost at the maximum takeoff weight here, just 100 kilos beneath it. So we will have quite a high landing weight over in Courchevel as well, making this one especially interesting. Let's have a very quick look into our planned route of flight before we are actually going to depart. So for this we are going to use the Navigraph charts, and you can see I have prepared something over here. We are going to depart Chambéry on the runway 18, so going out southbound, currently standing up here on stand number 3. So it's going to be start up and then taxi out somewhere over here via Charlie onto the Northern Taxiway November for the full-length departure. From there we are going to follow the VFR departure routings via reporting points Sierra Bravo and Sierra Mike, and then make a short hop across the mountains over here, and then join the arrival into Courchevel from Whiskey, where we are going to fly the standard approach. So that one promises to become quite interesting, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Alright, enough explaining now. Why don't you follow me right into our airplane? Well, first things first though, we've got a close-up, so let's retract the stairs, and then we are going to close the door as well. And with the door closing down, make especially sure that the door is locked so that it is actually prepared for pressurized flight. Then we are going to move up front, and for the cargo door we've got a little click spot that I want to show you real quick. That's down here, that little baggage door key. Okay, so now the cargo door is closed. Let's retract the ladder to the cockpit as well and close the primary door. And it's turned green, that means we are ready. Okay then. Very quick inspection up here that everything is set correctly. And that looks just about like what we want to have. Same down here, everything's good. Perfect. Okay then, let's go ahead and start powering the airplane up. Before starting, engine checklist. Pre-flight inspection complete, nose baggage door closed, engine compartment closed, cabin access door latched, pilot door latched, park and brake set, seats and seat belts fastened, oxygen pressure. That is checked, sufficient for the flight. Oxygen supply on, passenger oxygen supply off. Microphone selector, that's located down here, is norm. Okay, and then we can continue. Starter off, ignition off, landing gear control down, radio master off. Don't need startup clearance over here. Okay then, source selector onto battery. Then we can check the horn. And quickly do a check of the emergency panel lighting as well. You can see the lights coming up somewhat over there. Perfect. Okay then, door annunciator is extinguished, fuel gauges, quantity is good. Auto fuel selector, or rather fuel selector auto. Then auto selector annunciation is extinguished. Okay then, let's quickly check if that works. We're on the left tank right now. Shift, and we're on the right tank. Perfect, both have the same amount of fuel, so we can leave them. Then engine instruments are checked. ITT test is looking good, and then let's go ahead and start up. We don't have beacons, so I'm going to use strobe lights and the nav lights as well. Okay, that's the before starting engine checklist complete. Then let's continue with the engine start from the battery. Manual override lever off. Power lever, flight idle, prop lever, full forward, condition lever, cutoff, source selector, battery, auxiliary pump, on, and fuel pressure is observed. Okay, ignition, auto, prop area is clear. Let's cancel master warning and master caution as well, and then starting the engine. Starter flashing is observed. Propeller starts spinning, NG is increasing. And we've got 13%. ITT is checked, oil pressure is good. %, starter off, and condition lever high idle. Okay then, boost pump, auto, fuel pressure green, main generator annunciator off, voltmeter approximately 28, and the ampere charging is observed. Engine start checklist complete, after start checklist. So gyro instruments all on. Okay, propeller de-ice, checked. Left windshield heat, checked. Right windshield heat, checked. Then pitot 1 heater, checked. Pitot 2 install heater, checked. Airframe de-ice. Okay, that's the right hand side. Then we've also got the left hand side. Okay, airframe DI is checked. Inertial separator, let's turn it on. And then we can continue with the masters. So, radio master, autopilot trim master, and the EFIS. All of them coming on. Bleed air, auto air conditioning on, fan flow auto. The cruise level is going to be a little bit special today. We aren't really going to fly too high, just about 12,000 feet-ish, but we'll set the landing elevation straight away. That's going to make our pressurization a little bit easier. Okay. Cool, that looks good. Okay, weather radar. That's certainly supposed to be on standby. Okay then. And that is the after start checklist complete. Let's quickly go ahead and program a flight plan. So LFLB to LFLJ, that's looking good. Okay, so we're going to proceed via LFSB. No, actually via LFSB to LFSM. Is there several? No, not really, huh? Okay, well in that case, remove that once again. I thought I could use the naming convention, but doesn't matter. Well, you know what? LFLB. And let's see if we go as... No, okay. Interesting that I cannot enter them in here, but that is fine. We are just going to do things visually then. We're flying VFR after all. Okay then, frequencies 1228. We are on VATSIM, even though there is probably absolutely nobody here. Well, at least I would be surprised, but we'll see about it. Okay. And that should be our setup complete. Then let's go ahead and get taxiing. Altitude, we can put it to 12,500. That's our planned cruising altitude straight away, and that is the minimum en route altitude for this sector as well. GPS can be selected, and that's it. Okay. So, taxi light on, and the park and brake is off. Let's go. Not going to go for any pushback here, I'll just get us rolling straight out like that. Okay. Clear left side, clear right side. Okay then, and with that we are on the way. Okay, slight left, then immediate right, and then we go full length. Okay, departure briefing. It's going to be a left-sea takeoff on runway 17 with takeoff straight out VFR. We can climb 12,500 straight away. There is no restricting airspace. What a wonder that in front there is no restricting airspace for once. Okay, we're going to fly via those reporting points. We've got them in the GPS on the map, and that is how we are going to use them. I'll not make too much of a fuss out of it. And then straight to the left-hand turn, where we are going to set course towards Courchevel Whiskey, flying across those mountains, climbing to 12,500 feet. In terms of an immediate return in case of engine failure, well, we can't... No immediate turnbacks below 1,500. The airplane just doesn't glide too well. But if we have to, we've got a glider airfield straight on our runway track. They've got a 1,000 meter runway. That is sufficient for us. Apart from that, to the left is the city. To the right, we should have slightly better chances. And that is really it. Okay. Rotate at 85. Clean up at 115. Climb at 130. And that is it. Any questions? No, very good. Then... line up. That breakaway thrust is rather high in this plane, so can see it here how much torque I need in order to actually get it rolling. Okay, quick GPWS test. Okay, that's runway 18, confirmed down there. B4 takeoff tracks. Park and brake off, terrain tests completed. Governor test we'll do when we actually do the run-up. So, fuel with the highest tank is selected, flaps going takeoff. And then pitot heat on, inertial separator is not needed anymore. And that is pretty much it. Okay, let's go, takeoff. Okay, that is 1900 RPMs. Come on, I need 1900 please. Yeah, that's good. Governor test. Works, perfect. Okay. Take off. Power set. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Yaw damper on. Flaps up. Okay, flaps are up. 850 mode on. 130 knots. Okay, set climb thrust. Here we go, wonderful. Okay, let's start that first left turn. Okay, course looks good. And let's go heading, altitude, autopilot. Did I say altitude? Obviously I meant speed hold, aka flight level change. Okay, we'll stay on QNH for the entire flight, as it is just a pretty quick one. We've already cleared all the terrain ahead, that's wonderful. So terrain is not an issue anymore. So what's our cabin pressurization doing? 500 feet a minute, climbing, perfect. All we could ask for. So that flight time is what I'm looking for on the transponder. Okay, we've climbed out of the control zone already, so we don't need those reporting points anymore. Then let's take a quick shortcut, direct to LJ Whiskey. Yep. And nav. Okay, now we're proceeding direct to Whiskey from Courchevel. And Whiskey is where we are going to start the approach. So let's take a very quick moment to have a look into the approach chart of Courchevel already. Here we've got it on screen. So from Whiskey, we're going to maintain an altitude of 7,000 feet and then going to fly onto that downwind and then start our final approach. So 7,000 feet is not very high, indeed it is just above the Patron altitude, meaning that, well, not just above the Patron altitude, 7,000 obviously is the Patron altitude, but it's just 500 above the runway elevation, so the final descent is going to be pretty short, but that is quite alright. Now, let's have a very quick discussion here of one of the problems that we'll have approaching Courchevel, that is the visibility onto the runway. Due to the slope, it's going to look like we are very, very high, while actually we are not. So what we'll do to mitigate against that is we'll have a careful look into our vertical speed indicator, make sure that the vertical speed is anywhere around 700 to 500 feet a minute, and if the vertical speed is round about at 700 to 500 feet a minute, then and the runway stays constant in the window, then we are good. Okay, approaching. So that is what we'll aim for today. Okay, we're clear of any other terrain ahead. Very good. $1,000 to go. Vertical speed. Master warning, torque. Okay, let's reduce that. Okay, that's better. Good thing we have these. So, what's the engine monitor saying? Torque exceedance, very slight. Not too much a problem. Nonetheless, we'll hit the record button. And that's it. Alt. Okay, let's take the torque back a little bit. We don't want to get too fast on a short flight like this. 80 or something should be just fine. Indeed, looking into the long-range cruise table, well, we don't need long-range cruise on this one, but nonetheless, they're looking at 55 as the lowest, so that might be a little very slow, but I'm fine with it either way. You know what? We're about to start our descent anyway, but we just got to keep a careful look on those mountains up there, and Whiskey is going to be just behind that, so after Whiskey we'll make that right-hand turn, as you can see on that chart. Okay then, good enough, we don't need that anymore. So after Whiskey it's going to be something like 100 outbound heading. So the heading is quite okay that we're coming in at. What's the cabin altitude doing? It's 4,000 now, so it needs another 5 minutes to get up to 6.5. That is okay. Okay, reaching Whiskey in 3 minutes. So after that, here is November and here is Echo. Now Echo is for helicopters only, so we turn final before that, but by that time we will long be visual already. So we are alright. Okay, how's the terrain doing? Looks fine, and I believe this is the valley into Courchevel. So we're going in like this, and then just over here should be the field. Okay, let's go ahead and start our descent then. Let's make it 1,500 initially, because I really want to get above this valley here. Don't want to descend too quickly onto that. Especially since forward visibility is somewhat restricted in the TBM, so I'll much rather take it like this. You'll see how often I'm going into that high view here already in order to have a good view up front. Also, might be lots of birds in here, so let's turn the pulse lights on. Okay, so we're roughly looking for a 100 heading once we are overhead Whiskey. And now let's do 2,000 feet a minute. Okay, descent checklist. Altimeters local, cabin altitude, landing elevation, pulse lights on, de-icers off, inertial separator. Yeah, not yet. Okay, so inertial separator off, airflow distributor not required, ignition off, fuel quantity and balance. Let's see, the right-hand tank got the most fuel, so So let's just about shift that over. So right hand tank is on, and that's the descent checklist complete. Okay, reaching Whiskey, and as you can see, pretty hard to see anything up here, but it's just about fine. Heading, descending into the traffic pattern, not something that you would usually do, but it is alright for me right now. Okay, so direct to Courchevel, and we'll make that an inbound course of 220, that is roughly the runway track. Activate. Okay then, approaching that next city then, should be a little bit further to the right I suppose, so let's go ahead and turn off the autopilot and take over ourselves. Okay, yeah, down there is the valley. Okay, cool. Then let's pull some more of that power off. About to reach pattern altitude, 7,000. And here we are. Okay then, over there is the airport. Got that in sight. Then we don't need the 850 mode anymore. Okay, approach flaps, gear down. And starting the final turn. How's the cabin looking? Yeah, cabin altitude is okay. Perfect. Landing flaps. So, 85 knots approach speed. Landing flaps are out. Perfect. Now is the challenge of maintaining a good rate of descent while keeping the runway constant in the window. Yaw damper off. Okay, this looks alright. This is alright. And we're down. Back to the center line. And here we are. Welcome to Courchevel Airport. We'll park next to that, I'll just call it tower, you know what I mean. Okay, let's... Weather radar off, transponder standby, and then we'll just about taxi straight to the terminal and then do the remainder of the after landing items there. Okay, cool, here we are. So, after landing, de-icing systems off, inertial separator, we don't need that anymore, bleed air off, weather radar off, flaps up. So landing and taxi light and the pulse lights and the nav lights can go off. And finally oxygen off. That's the after landing checklist complete. Then let's go for the shutdown checklist. Parking brake set. Parking brake annunciator illuminated. Taxi light off. Bleeder off. Cabin differential. We are depressurized. Okay, fan flow off, air conditioning off, power lever has been in idle for a minute already. Then gyro instruments all off. Thrustmaster off. Autopilot and trim master off. Then radio master off. Prop lever feather for 15 seconds. So that's our propeller running down over there. And then 15 seconds is roughly over. Condition lever cut off. Here we go. Auxiliary boost pump going off. Auto tank selector manual. Fuel pull and off. Okay, inertial separator off. Exterior lights. We'll just about wait until the propeller has actually stopped before I'm going to turn those off. Here you go, propeller off, so strobe lights going off. And then we've just about got the power left. So ignition off, source off, and that's it. Welcome to Courchevel. Okay then, let's go ahead and open up and get our hotel managers out to start their work preparing for the winter season. Here we go, and then in the back, same thing. Press to unlock and open. And they shall be allowed to collect their luggage as well. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you very much for flying. I do surely hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for some more action with the TBM850. An absolute marvelous airplane. I'm very much looking forward to fly this one a little bit more. But in the meantime, I'm looking forward to you guys being able to enjoy it very soon as well. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you liked this one. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up, as it does help with the YouTube algorithms as well. And if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And if you really liked my video, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I see you all again on the next one.